It's time to get started in Gogebic County and Iron County. The work of a sexual assault response team, or SART, is complex and visionary. The team will be working to achieve better outcomes for victim survivors. Building a SART will come with many challenges. We may have difficulty getting participation from key sexual assault responders, or coordinating responses between agencies. However, together we can become victim-centered. In many cases, victimization will be confirmed by multiple victims sharing the same story, showing the perpetrator's clear pattern of abuse and predatory behavior. However, it's all too often ignored, not seen, or not understood by institutions and individuals. Therefore, perpetrators are not being held accountable. Approximately 2 out of 3 assaults are not reported. Not understanding the processes can be intimidating for both professionals and victims. Crimes may also not be reported due to the belief that the police wouldn't or couldn't help, that it was a personal matter, not wanting the perpetrator to get in trouble, or the fear of retaliation. Perpetrators of sexual violence are less likely to go to jail. In fact, out of every 1,000 rapes, 994 perpetrators will walk free. Less than 5% are prosecuted. Less than 4% result in conviction, and less than 3% result in incarceration. Our community's response to sexual violence can be seen as a system, or a set of connected parts that make up a whole. Like strands in a web, each part of the system connects to the other parts to support victim survivors as they access services and seek justice through dove advocacy, education, judiciary, corrections, probation, healthcare, human services, and law enforcement. Each one its own strand in a web of support. Policies and procedures of each agency, as well as the way agencies interact, are elements that must work together toward the victim's well-being and engagement. When key parts of the system are missing or are not working together, victim survivors fall through the gaps. We will coordinate with Gogebic Community College and the 11 K-12 schools located within our 2 counties by inviting representatives to create a subcommittee to address the unique elements of serving victim survivors, as well as implementing preventative programs within the educational systems. Elements, like the different reporting and investigating processes on and off school grounds, as well as the best way to implement a form of assault prevention in K-12 curricula. The subcommittee will assist in developing a guide for coordinating the school processes with those of the SART members, making it easier for all responders to better serve more victim survivors. Best practices from already well-functioning SARTs is using a 3-phase process to plan, implement, and evaluate system changes by assessing the status quo, making the change, and measuring the change. The primary goal of SART is system change, striving for a long-term improvements to the way our counties respond to and report victim survivors. Our team will be a combination of Gogebic County and Iron County, serving just over 21,000 people. Creating a response that will provide organized opportunities to report crimes, receive culturally competent assistance and support through a network that is prepared to do so. Systems change is like having a bigger, stronger web between agencies, enhancing our web to support more victim survivors and keeping them from falling through the gaps. Many SARTs are making positive changes to the way counties respond to sexual assault, including reducing the confusion and frustration that victim survivors experience when they are attempting to navigate the system and interacting with responders from different agencies. By working together to improve system practices and protocols, our team will develop more effective responses that adapt to meet the needs of all victim survivors. As the team comes together, the roles of each agency will become more defined, then documented in a response protocol for all to follow. As responders become better informed, they will be able to explain processes to victim survivors and connect them to the best resources. By 2020, the goal is to have 50 to 60 members on our SART. approximately 25 from Gogebic County and 15 from Iron County. Once our SART is in place, we should start to see the many improvements, such as better, more victim-centered care, an increase of victims coming forward, more requests for advocacy services by victims, more medical and mental health follow-up services accessed by victims and offenders, better quality of evidence collection, more consistent use of evidence and expert witness testimony, an increased percentage of victims reporting their assault to law enforcement, more law enforcement cases referred to the district and prosecuting attorneys for review, more cases resulting in the perpetrator being held accountable, and victims expressing greater satisfaction with the care they received from agencies within SART, as well as greater confidence in the legal system's ability to achieve justice. The work of SART matters. The team is a powerful strategy for improving our county's responses and the experiences of our victim survivors. Developing these protocols will improve cooperation and communication between agencies. By our agencies working together to develop a victim-centered response, meaningful change will be achieved.